Prince of Persia is a game and franchise that dates back all the way to 1989, guys. Before I was born, this franchise started. And we have had consistently a lot of Prince of Persia games, but as of late, guys, it really, as in the last, really, you could even go back to the last 10 years, we really haven't had much in the Prince of Persia, atmosphere as far as releases are concerned. So I want to talk in this segment of the show about where is a new Prince of Persia game, and could we see one in the foreseeable future? So let's talk about it. So guys, according to the release timeline on Wikipedia, Prince of Persia, as I stated, the very first one came out in 1989. Now, The Shadow and the Flame, that came out in 1993, and then in 99, Prince of Persia 3D. Where we really saw a huge influx of content coming out for the Prince of Persia franchise was from 2002 to 2008. And, we had The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, The Two Thrones, Battles of Prince of Persia, the Prince of Persia Trilogy, Prince of Persia Classic, Prince of Persia 2008, and The Fallen King. And that was probably, one of those times in the Prince of Persia, history that was probably it was very well known, but I feel that they almost try to do too much. And I think that this is something that, we've got to look at other games that have come out, by, the developers and publishers, that being like Ubisoft. So Ubisoft that owns Prince of Persia at this point in time, and talk about creating a lot of content around Prince of Persia in that period of time. You know what it reminds me of? Another Ubisoft, franchise being Assassin's Creed. They put so much content out there that it was hard to kind of keep up with. I feel that between The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and The Two Thrones, they really should have spread those out a lot more. And that's just my opinion, guys. Because I thought that those three were the three best, in my opinion. You could always, argue that, some of these other ones like the Trilogy, Classic, all of that, they're good. But I think those three really should have been spaced out more. And they didn't do it. They put them out back to back to back years. And then after 2008, a couple years later, you get the Forgotten Sands, and then nothing. You had the Shadow and the Flame remake, which was in 2013. I believe it was actually canceled. And then you have to wait till 2018 to get Prince of Persia Escape. And guys, Escape was a mobile game that came out in 2018. And now let's fast forward to now with 2020. We haven't seen anything. We have not had an actual true continuation of this franchise since 2010, The Forgotten Sands. And, 2021, it stated that The Sands of Time is getting a remake, which could be it could give you a sign of maybe what is to come. They're going to do a remake, see how big of the fan base they still have. And if they have a decent sized fan base, then they continue after the remake. But as far as Prince of Persia Escape is concerned, guys, that's the latest of what we've gotten. And in 2018, Ubisoft, under the banner of its entity, Ketchup, released Prince of Persia Escape, a mobile game for Android and iOS. It is a runner game made up of different levels, and the player can customize the protagonist with outfits from past games. Reviewing for Pocket Gamer, Cameron Bald called Prince of Persia Escape a mundane game crushed under the weight of excessive greed, which would pretty much be, to explain that, guys, monetization and microtransactions, things of that nature, really were riddled through most mobile games nowadays. Prince of Persia Escape was no different. But when we look at the future of Prince of Persia, guys, which is what I'm getting at here, when could we see another title? Obviously, we're going to be getting a Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake in 2021, allegedly. In 2012, leaked images from a project entitled Osiris were assumed to be the next Prince of Persia title. Jordan Mechner even commented on his Twitter account that the images were not from a Prince of Persia game. A year later in 2013, Yanis Mallet, CEO of Ubisoft Montreal, said that the franchise was being paused, saying that as soon as we have something to show, we will. In the following months, Ubisoft confirmed that it was either planning or considering next-generation entries in multiple franchises, including Prince of Persia. A video uploaded by an Ubisoft Montreal artist in 2012, but only discovered in 2020, showed a gameplay trailer for Prince of Persia Redemption, which would have been released for Windows, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. According to Jonathan Cooper, a former Ubisoft animator at the time, said the trailer was a mock-up of the planned gameplay for the title created by Kai Nguyen, used to pitch the game concept. The game never developed beyond that point, though the work on the pitch trailer was used to prepare a similar trailer for Assassin's Creed 3 for Ubisoft. So, what can we really take from this? I mean, as far as the future is concerned, it doesn't look very good, guys. It looks pretty bleak, to be honest. I want to see Prince of Persia come back. I thought Prince of Persia was a lot of fun, guys, for the way the style reminded me a little bit of Uncharted, reminded me a little bit of Ninja Gaiden. It reminded me of a number of different titles out there, but it was unique to itself. And I would love to see a continuation of this franchise. Some more serious approach. I liked Warrior Within a lot. The Two Thrones I really liked. I liked those concepts. I know not everyone liked them. I liked those ones. I would love it if they kind of continued something along those lines in the future. But where is the Prince of Persia title? Guys, I think we got to go back to the release timeline to kind of focus on what the future of Prince of Persia, or really any game franchise out there. You got to look at the past. You got to look at the present. And what we've got right now, guys, is we have nothing. We've got Prince of Persia Escape, which was riddled with microtransactions, things of that nature. A mobile game, which a mobile game is fine, guys. Don't get me wrong. Mobile games are fine, but if you're going to release a mobile game, release, actual true continuation on consoles and PC and such as well. So it justifies, people will try that mobile game out most likely if you release it alongside, an actual true continuation of the franchise. But they didn't do that, just like, Diablo, they didn't do it, with Diablo Immortal. The list goes on and on. Command & Conquer, they did it with Rivals. They did not release a true continuation of Command & Conquer. Rivals, I thought, was very good, but the problem was it wasn't released in conjunction with another Command & Conquer game. So this is a title that Ubisoft went into this realm of pumping out so much content similar to Assassin's Creed, and it was just not sustainable. And I thought that they had some really good releases here. The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, The Two Thrones. I thought that those three were great, but they released them back to back to back years, and it just really wasn't necessarily those three, but it was after, what came after, the Battle of Prince of Persia Trilogy, Prince of Persia Classic, Prince of Persia 2008, The Fallen King. I mean, guys, we're talking every single year you're getting new games, and this isn't a franchise that's like Call of Duty that can sustain that, and Ubisoft was treating it as such. It was trying to do the same thing like with Assassin's Creed, and it was unsustainable. So, at the end of the day, will we see another Prince of Persia game? I do believe we will. I think a remake is probably the best place to start here in 2021 with the Sands of Time remake. If you do that, you see kind of, okay, is there still a nice sized fan base here? Do people still want to play Prince of Persia? And if so, they can greenlight a true continuation of the franchise. So I think a remake is the next step. Now, The Shadow and the Flame, I believe, was canceled, guys, back in 2013. So will the Sands of Time remake be canceled as well? It is yet to be seen. But let me know, guys. Would you want to see another Prince of Persia title? I know I certainly would. I think that this is definitely a game, a franchise that should coexist with other games, in the space. But really, at the end of the day, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. A new Prince of Persia or no? Will it happen? Why or why not? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Prince of Persia content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.